isn't rocket science. There's no, it's you know, and for that matter, without like going off into a tangent, which I'm not going to do, there's no, I promise, this time. There's no, you know, super whiz-bang tool. I submit that everybody in this room made their money with the basics. Writing good headlines, providing real content and value to people who buy actual products. Some of them are on cassette. You get it? So there's no, you know, there's no next big thing. This here is just serving people in a basic way. That's what this is all about, this conversation.
Another thing that I'm surprised we haven't mentioned yet, which just came to me, is getting a hold of other experts to speak at your teleseminar. Well, if you've got a hold of one, why not ask them to who you want to be on? I mean, just in this room itself, when I wanted to meet Russell, and the way I did it was he knew Patrick Chan, which is someone I knew, and I simply asked him to introduce me to Russell. And then when I got to know Russell, he happened to mention that he knew Mike Filsaime, and I hadn't met Mike yet. Yep. So I said, hey, Russell, can you introduce me to Mike? And what he did was put me on a teleconference call where both myself and Mike were guest speakers, and now I know Mike. And so I didn't have to do a cold call to Mike to get to know him. It was much easier to go through Russell, and it was much easier to get to know Russell through Patrick. That's just, it's much easier to do it that way. So if you make one successful call, leverage that and see who else they can help you get.
You want to get pictures if you can. If you ever have an opportunity, always make sure you have an opportunity to get, you know, one of these pictures with somebody, because people associate you as an expert when they see you with other experts, and it's that instant credibility. And there's you know, one guy that recently started a site called 12 Week Intensive, and his name is Harris Feldman. And he's got, who's a guy from Guerrilla Marketing, J. Conrad Levinson. Yeah. He's got Brad Fallon, Mark Joyner, and I'm like looking, I think Yannick Silver. He's got all these people on the page, and I'm like, how did this guy stay into my radar for the last 5 years? I mean, this guy knows everybody, and all of a sudden, I get him on the phone. He's like, oh, I just started this about 3 months ago. I realized that this is how to do it, and I just
called everybody up.
Yeah, and now all of a sudden, I thought he was an expert in the field because I see his picture next to every other big name in the industry. So yeah, so you definitely have to paint that brand for people, because
fire up the Photoshop.
Can we get a picture after the call, Mike? Well, I just want to take a second. I want to kind of bring it home to everyone who's watching this, because we've talked about a lot of stuff so far. We've talked about researching markets, coming up with a winning product idea, doing joint ventures, and finding, you know, collaborative partnerships. We also talked about some tools and systems that you'll need to get started, some very basic stuff. We talked about building gateway page or capture pages and autoresponders. So I just want to take a moment to have everyone give a little input on some of the tools that we're using to create these. We talked about creating a capture page, and really you've got, you know, it's not a very difficult thing to do. You've got a little bit of real estate to work with on a web page, so it's about getting you know, as much compelling copy in there as possible. And I don't want to get too much into copywriting or anything like that. There's a lot of great courses out there. Perhaps some of the folks in this room have courses, but you know, it's about tapping into the minds of your market, knowing what they want, and taking that information and compelling them to take some sort of action. And so copywriting is like one of those million-dollar skills. So if you're going to learn, you know, how to market online, I'd say that copywriting is one of those things that you either have to learn how to do yourself, or you have to find someone who can do it. But as far as building a page, a squeeze page, there's a lot of tools out there that can help you do it. I just want to go ahead and mention a shameless pitch here. Gateway Magic does have the ability to create a page that will allow you to capture people's information. Not only that, but you can survey your market, find out what exactly they want, what their hot buttons are. You can split test, and you can do some of the stuff that we've talked about with affiliate programs and other things like that. And you know, it's just a really smart way to be able to conduct the market research and to get an idea of a product even before you spend a lot of money on it by split testing affiliate programs. Another thing we mentioned was autoresponders, and there's a lot of folks out here that use different autoresponders. Personally, I use One Shopping Cart. I think they're a great service, but I just want to go ahead and give everyone else a chance to kind of throw in some tools or ideas.
I'd like to throw in one other thing and bring it. I wanted to bring it back to the the teleconference, and there's two tools to my knowledge, and I'd like to hear if anybody knows of any others, and that's Gateway Magic and Squeeze Page Generator.
Yeah,
correct?
that's not
Squeeze
mine, but it's I have that
That's
product.
Leon Klepfish's.
Yeah, it's not, but it's good. I have it. It's a good product.
Do you have a squeeze page builder? That's yours.
I don't. We just build.
Okay.
I mean, I make them. They're really so simple to make.
Yeah.
I mean, not the way you guys do it. You've got a lot of back-end programming and stuff. But, you know, there's a transitional issue let's deal with here. Because when we started out, we talked about adding a pop-up to the guy's web page, and now we're talking about a page that they're going to send their users to. Maybe it's a page that they're going to send by a pop-up. Maybe it's a page that they're going to send, by email. What's going to happen is when you approach them with the simple, easy thing, hey, it's no work. All you do is just add the little code to the web page. Once they start getting involved in it and they realize the potential, they're going to say, especially if the pop-up's only generating 5 or 10%, gosh, how do we get more people on there? Well, the way that we do that, Mr. Partner, is we use a name squeeze page or a lead capture page. And at that point, that's when the person decides whether they're either going to add the code to the page for the $500 check or send their mailing list a special teaser ad to send them straight into the thing because they want the $10,000 check. So, once you get someone, once you establish a relationship with someone, you want to keep building that up. And, it all is going to depend on how much they want to get at the end of the month or at the end of the promotion. And I guarantee you, if you get with people and they trust you and they like you and they're willing to put the code on their page, more than likely you can get them to pop up the squeeze page or mail their whole list for a direct promotion for the thing. And at that point, you're really working as partners. And that's why these tools are important to have under your belt, because when the time comes that the person says, okay, let me try to get 5,000 people on the call. At that point, you need to be able to step up to the plate with the tools and the stuff. So all they need to do is load it into their autoresponder and hit send, and then bang, you take care of everything else.
All right, so we've got some great tips here for developing the content and actually running the seminar. I'm kind of interested in how we're going to get paid.
I've got a quick point on getting paid if that's the arena we're going to go into.
Yeah.
If someone's brand new to this and they have put together a teleseminar series, put the partners together, have the promo up and going to where there is the actual potential to make $30,000, you're going to do it probably if it's all leading up to that 30th day where you're actually going to hold the teleseminar and sell the product, on the back end. You're probably going to make 30 grand that day. There's a very good chance you'll do that in an hour at the end of the teleseminar. So, what happens for someone who's just now setting up their very first merchant account? Who do they use?
Well, I think the easiest thing to do is to set up a PayPal account. There's no credit
Yeah.
approval.
Yeah,
You get the account.
But you don't have
instantly.
affiliate links with PayPal, and we're
You can
selling
use-
some of this with
You
affiliate
could use
links.
pay.com for that.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah. That's at paydotcom.com. Pay.com.com. Yeah, pay.com works like ClickBank, but it pays you instantly to your PayPal account, and you pay your affiliates at the end of the month with PayPal's MassPay.
Yeah, and that's a good point, because I think that a lot of otherwise good businesses get killed because, I can't really do it because I don't have merchant processing, or I don't have
A shopping
this or a
cart.
shop. I don't have all the stuff. I don't have all my ducks in a row.
Don't use what you think you need. Use what you have available to you. And there's people we know who run their whole businesses off of PayPal.
Russell's dad did a joint venture with Vince James and said, hey, how about I find people to do a call with you, and I'll set up a domain for your product with my affiliate link. So he started contacting people. He opened up a PayPal account, put it through put it through pay.com. It was a physical product of somebody else's product. He put all the information there, and I know, Telman, you did it, Gary, you did it, I did. I mean, it was probably over $100,000 in sales between the three of us.
Easy.
Easily. Just with three people. So his cut was.
No, it was somebody else's product that already existed. That wasn't with a brand new product. There was nothing created. You did a free teleseminar. Ran it all through.
Somebody else's product, somebody else's list,
Yeah.
somebody else's.
Basically,
Hey,
everything, you name
put
it.
us together.
This is
and
the
it's that
exact
same
same
process
model.
we're doing
Same
right
model.
now. Get them on a call. Teleseminar, great content. People get all salted and thirsty. Wow, this is incredible. How do I get it? Give them a bonus at the end if they buy now. The urgency, and all that stuff.